So, with a second baby on the way in a few months and the ensuing visiting family and friends coming in and out of the house to check on mom and the newborn, because no one cares about this guy, I finally decided that I needed a second testing and filming workstation besides this one, because this is located in a common area in our unfinished basement. Yes, and I'm making this video to show you what's possible, how to build a similar setup, and maybe even spark some ideas of your own, because I've been doing this long enough to tell you that you don't need fancy stuff to look good on your socials, guys. Just an eye for simplicity, for looks, ease of use, and also a good deal. A little bit of talent wouldn't hurt either, but that's another story altogether. So if you're ready, let's check out my new space. And also a quick shout out to all the brands that decided to jump in and help out with this build. So kudos to you guys. You know who you are, and I'll link them down below so you can check them out yourself. But anyways, let's do this. This is the lowest point in my house right now, the unfinished basement. And the reason why I say it's unfinished because the floor is concrete. And nothing else. There's no carpets or anything or nice furniture. There's stone walls, a gas furnace, and a whole bunch of crap. Thankfully, it's not too messy, but it's still an unfinished basement for what it is. But here is the desk, guys. For the most part, I am done. I still have a few things I need to gather and really make this at home. It's actually pretty cool here. It's nice and quiet aside from when the heater starts kicking in and also the dehumidifier starts running. I can turn them off thankfully when I need to film, but otherwise, they're there. And one thing that's really nice, if you look up above, there's thermal and sound insulation, which is great for, just killing the echoes when I'm doing voice recording, talking heads and things like that. The centerpiece that I wanted to center the whole thing around was these two pieces of furniture from Branch. I had done a review on their saddle chair before, and so I reached out to Branch again and say, hey guys, would you like to help out with my build? And they said yes. And so we have this four-legged standing desk. I know people are used to standing desk, and I'll go into a deeper review on this table alone because there's a lot of cool stuff. But when we talk about standing desks, we are used to ones with two legs or four legs, but they're joined like a inverted T kind of thing. But this has motors on each of the legs, and it kind of looks like a Herman Miller because it is basically copying off of a Herman Miller. I forgot the name of it. I'll flash it on the screen. But that thing is thousands of dollars, and this is much cheaper, and it's just as good as well. So you have the controls here for the height, and it's touch controls. You can hear it's pretty quick. And then once I get it back down to preset to the lowest point, so these are fantastic. One thing nice about a long table is it gives you the option to multi-use it, so you can use it as a workstation and for filming. So there's that. Now I wish I can get more like cable organizers. Let me just show you real quick the back of this. Branch does sell like a cable organizer, but I think I'm gonna get my own that gives me more control. See, there's a lot of hanging cables everywhere. And I have the computer back here behind the screen, a good old Dell. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But the chair, oh my goodness, this thing is fantastic. So this is the soft side chair. They have a high back version, and I chose the lower back so it doesn't show up in shots. It's really comfy, guys. It's so plush, top and bottom. Oh my goodness, the armrests are removable if you like it to. The only downside that I can think of is it doesn't go as high as I would like to match my standing desk if I want to go a little bit higher or for a taller person. But for the most part, it is pretty darn good. I love this thing. It's so comfortable. And the reason why I chose pleather, they do have a black true leather version, but they also have really nice fabric options, which I really love. But they're easier to clean. This kind of material is so much easier to clean, and if you want to get rid of it, no one's gonna like question you like, did you fart in it, what do you spill in it, things like that. What you see is what you get. So yeah, there's multiple reasons why I got this. Plus also in here, since it's an unfinished basement, dust does get kicked up and things like that. So it's just a quick wipe down and you're done. Not so much with fabric. That's a little bit more high maintenance. Caster wheels are super smooth, just like the saddle chair that I reviewed. probably one of the most important aspects of any workstation, let alone any kind of content creation, is audio, right? And some of you are perfectly happy with like a headphone wirelessly connected or wired. Like in this case, I have the FiO FT1 Pro connected to the Zen iFi Zen DAC 3 connected to the computer. But if you want to properly monitor things like in a space like this where it's quiet, speakers are great. And in this case, I have the Kanto Rens. You don't have to splurge, but this is honestly, I'll tell you what, guys, I probably have to do a review on this speaker. One of the best I've ever heard. It's marketed actually also for TVs because it has an HDMI ARC. Let me show you the ports in the back. It has SpeedIF. You can swap sides, by the way, depending on which side of the power, which side the power source is, which is really nice. You have USB-C, SpeedIF, Bluetooth 5.3 RCA, and it also has a subwoofer out with an 80 hertz crossover. So if you want to get a subwoofer to pair it with, but I'll tell you what, the bass on this is solid. It has nice punch, nice kick. You know what, guys, I can talk sweet things about the Rens all day long, but there's nothing better than a proper sound test, right? So, well, or a short one anyway. So check this out. The bass hits and the treble, so fine, so clean, so tidy. And if you have good headphones listening to this, I hope it shows up in the recording. The audio is right here in the middle of my head, or right in the front. And even if I tilt this way, it still wants to project this way. I'm not sure what kind of voodoo they did with that, but oh my goodness, the 3D spaciousness on this is fantastic. Now, I'm not sure if I already mentioned it, Class D amp, 100 watts RMS, so 50 each, up to 200. But yeah, these things are clean and has lots of power going on, and I'll definitely do a review on those. Now, when it comes, let me turn this off real quick. When it comes to the computer, of course, and the screen is all personal preference. In this case, you know, it's not, let me show you. It's an old chewy mini PC that I have lying around. Check that out. It's in the back of the screen, and it's an old Dell 24-incher that I had like set up for vertical for scrolling albums and music and things like that, but it has no power. This computer has absolutely no overhead for anything. Like, don't even think about Premiere Pro or any kind of gaming if that's your thing. So if you're doing streaming, whatever, get with your best computer out. That's why I have my other computer upstairs for. This is really just for basic stuff. I can do like do shorts editing with CapCut. It's totally fine, but it'll crash if I just sneeze at it wrong or whatever it is. And I might upgrade it at some point, but that's the computer. Now, connected to it, I have this new keyboard from Be Quiet. It's called a Dark Mount, and this thing is fantastic for what it is. If you remember my other review from the Mountain Everest, I think it's an identical copy because both of them are modular, and both of them can switch your numpad location from the left to right or none at all. Or also you can switch this power control module at the top here from your left to the right, and you can, you know, magnetically attach your wrist pads and things like that. And also they have magnetically mounted feet at the bottom here. Check that out. So you can adjust the height based on how many feet you attach. So that's really nice. But this has all kinds of customizable buttons, 8 of them. In this case, like I can launch, if I tap that, I can launch like Windows Explorer or things like that. And over here, I have it set up to control volume. And by the way, this is really quiet. They did this on purpose to follow with the brand Be Quiet. And the thing is, you can swap out for any kind of Cherry MX keys you like. And these keys themselves are translucent, the legends, so they don't fade, they don't wear out or things like that. So that's really awesome. When it comes to RGB controls, this thing is tight, guys. Like any premium high-end gaming keyboard, down to the key, turn it on and off, change the colors, change whatever patterns or brightness and things like that. But really, you're here for the programmable keys, shortcuts, and macros that you get done via the application. So here's the thing, if you're considering like between a creative console versus something like this, my workstation upstairs, I'm perfectly fine with just the keyboard setup, like in this case, and combining that with the muscle memory from my keyboard shortcuts and also all the shortcut buttons from my mouse. I'm perfectly fine. But if you're looking for one of these, then consider something like the Logitech MX Creative Console. Logi was nice enough to send me this, and the more I talk about this, you might notice that, hey, this looks a lot like a Loop Deck or whatnot, and that's because Logi owns Loop Deck now, and they're trying to pull a lot of that information IP over, and anyways. On the left side here, you have like 13 this page scroll button up to 13 pages of commands. So you can see right now I have Lightroom running, and these are all the shortcuts. If I switch to Chrome or whatever, it switches to a general system-wide control panel, which is really nice. You can customize it, of course. Very, very powerful and very fast, even considering my slower computer. Now if I switch back to Lightroom, all the controls are contextual and really fast too. So this one, even though it's plastic, the dial itself is metal. This is all aluminum, and see when I turn it, it just controls the pictures, and I can change color profiles and things like that, and zoom in and out. Really, really nice and responsive. So there's that. And this is $200. They're constantly updating the plugins and adding like DaVinci and all the Adobe products and other applications over time. But I'll say, when you set up your system, basically the idea or the adage you want to stick with is work smarter, not harder. So if this by itself works great for you, go for it. If you want to add a Creative Console, go for that as well. Now, lighting is the other important part for filming. You want some kind of ambient lighting, be it a direct window or some soft light around to the side and something on the background, something to really illuminate your face as well as your object or your subject matter, something that you can control the brightness. And that's why it's important to get a softbox of some kind. I've used one since the beginning of my production and have not swayed away from it. This is a new one that I got. It's called the Skytech softbox. $80 for two actually, and it's LED, unlike my other one which was incandescent. Used a lot of power. This is like, I think 85 watts maximum. When it's at full brightness, you can control the Kelvin, the temperature. It's not RGB unfortunately, but for the price, I get two on kind of cheap stands, but they work really well. It's really nice and stable. You can take this off, in fact, and check that out. So yeah, it's effective for what it is. You can use it for photography as well. My other piece of lighting that I use for bike lighting is this. It's an RGB light strip. Of course, most people have something of a similar like that, but this is 2 feet long. You can go longer. And you can control it by remote, change whatever color you like, and make it strobing or whatever, and it's low power. Now another thing that I added to this whole set was this tripod arm that I attached to my old mic stand, which you can use whatever you can find, right? And this is an extra mic stand that I have, very stable, and I just bought this weird brand QZSD, that's what it says. And this is basically to mount my G85, my old workhorse G85, connected to a Sumilux, I think it's a 15mm f1.7. Really love this, and sharp lens, as you probably can have seen in my other videos. And of course the podcaster teleprompter with a spare phone here running my scripts and such. And I use this for notes or sometimes just a full-on script that I read from. You can counterbalance this with weights at the end, and so if you have a heavier camera, this will work as well. You can adjust it at any angles, and I can rotate this to point vertically down if I need to do some top-down shots anytime I want. So that's really my setup. And if you have any questions, guys, feel free to ask me, pop me a comment down below. Remember to thumbs up if you like this video, found it helpful, reshare this, subscribe to see more content like this. And again, remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, because guess what? If you haven't seen the news, the world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. I love you all very much. Thank you for watching this again. Peace out and God bless.